Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Imara and I am a young girl in her 20s who just moved 11 hours away from home a little bit over a month ago. So I moved for grad school. I graduated college in May of 2024 and I took a gap year off just to have some time for myself and get my application materials ready for grad school. I needed to do all the research to choose the right program, right city, everything for me. So that's what I did and here I am. Okay, so today's video is basically just my 1 month update of living in Houston, Texas. So yeah, I do have my notes because we're going to talk about 3 different categories, which is my academic life, my social life, and just some self-reflections I have. So let's get to it. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I am currently a master's student. I'm only in my first semester to get a master's of education in clinical mental health counseling. So my program is about like 3 years long, but it is all going to be worth it. You guys just see. So last week was my first week of classes. I have 3 classes a semester, 1 on Monday, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, and they're all 3 hours long. Now, my classes are online this semester because they're doing a lot of construction on my campus. So like the building that we're supposed to be in, we can't be in. So they just put us all online this semester, which at first I was like, I don't like that because I prefer to be in person. That's the type of student I am. However, practically, like when I think of the logistics, I don't have to get an expensive $300 plus parking pass, and I don't have to deal with the commute, which is saving me gas and money, and it's hot. So I'm saving myself, really. I'm not mad at it. I do have like a weekend parking pass and like a evening, so I will be using that eventually. But like my first week of classes went well. It was basically just like introduction. One of the classes we did introduction and then we actually got into content, but that class is only 8 weeks long, so we're kind of like going to be zooming a little bit. But honestly, I'm just excited. I miss being a student. I miss like just the learning environment. I love to learn, and it's just easier when it's already there for you. You don't have to go out of your way and, oh, let me create a lesson plan for myself. Like, it's already done. I just have to show up and give my best. So yeah, I will say though, I can tell that, I mean, obviously it's not undergrad, but it is definitely different. All of my classes are different in terms of the types of assignments and when they'll be due, and just like classroom procedures, policy, strictness, if you will. But when I went to college, I mean, I was one of those students in high school where I didn't really have to study. I just had to like practice things. And then in college, I just figured out a system that works for me. The best way that I like to learn is I read my textbook, I take my own notes. I show up to class. Usually they'll have a PowerPoint, and what I'll do is if there's something on the PowerPoint that's not in my notes, or there's something on the PowerPoint that I do have in my notes, I like to highlight it, add the comments, because I prefer not to be actively just taking notes the entire class, because I'm not actively listening. I'm trying to like hurry up and write as fast as I can versus like taking in the information and engaging in the class. So that's what I'm going to try. Now these first 2 weeks are going to be my trial. I have readings due in 2 of my classes. So one of those classes is today in like an hour. So I did my 3 chapters. I read, I took notes. But I just don't know. I don't want to write too much or not enough. So we're just going to see. I did like my first week of classes. I did not have a desk. Okay. I was using a little table, not even a full coffee table. I have these like nesting tables with different sizes that I had to use as my desk because I didn't have one. I use my little tiny stackable tables that live in my living room for my desk for now. That has my music studio set up. But on my last day of class on last Thursday, my desk arrived. So shout out to my grandparents. Thank you, Mimi and Papa Jack. Thank you. Okay, because it's life. Anyways, that's besides the point. I set my desk up after my class, so it's making it much easier. I don't have a chair yet. I just have this outdoor chair, but I'm gonna eventually order me a chair. That way I can have the full effect. But having this set up in a dedicated space that's cute and makes me want to learn is just going to add to my success as a student. Yesterday I did actually go on campus to the library because I haven't like been on campus to just see. So I went on campus, I went to the library. I only went on the first floor. That thing is nice. It's not like, now I love Club Coleman, okay? FAMU, you will always have my heart. But I went in there, you had to like scan to get in. I had to go up to a desk, give them my ID, like, okay. But it was really, really nice. Like, I want to go back and just see all the different study spaces that they have, because even though my desk is not in my room, I like to just be out and about in quiet space and study. And I need to be using all the amenities that the school offers, because school is not cheap, it's not free. So I got to get all my use every single resource they have. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my academic life. I know that I'm going to do well. I'm not afraid of like doing bad. I just am still unsure about like what the real workload is going to look like, because it's only been a week. But so far, so good. I'm going to speak what I want. I know that I'm going to do extremely well this semester and throughout my entire program. So that's really all I have to say. Okay, so the next topic is my social life. So I moved here. And I moved in by myself, actually. And I know of people that live in Houston, like people from my high school or where I went to undergrad, or just people associated with my fraternity. But those people in particular, I haven't actually connected with in person. I have talked to them virtually, let them know that I'm here, eventually we'll plan something, get together. But my first month was I just needed to settle in, okay? I needed to get my bearings and mentally accept that I live in an entire new state and city. Like that's a big deal, and I didn't want to just, okay? But in August, sometime at the end of the month, I started following a bunch of different like social clubs in the city that are geared to like women or just transplants or whatever. So I went to this walk club. We met at, I don't know where we met, y'all. Somewhere in, I don't know. But we met up at this little park area thing. And I met a lot of people. It was pretty cool. I will say I was like one of the few melanated people. By melanated, I just mean Black people. But, everybody doesn't identify themselves as Black. But, okay. But that's fine, though, because everyone was actually pretty nice. And it was very welcoming. I didn't feel like which is important to me, because I'm used to just being in predominantly Black environments. So I didn't feel like I did make a few friends. And actually, one of the girls that I met, she invited me to go out with her and her friends that night. So I did. And that was my first outing in Houston. Now, we went to, I don't know, the Heights area or something. Like, it was really, really cool. Like, I had a good time. But yeah, so that was like my one nightlife social outing. And then actually the next week, one of my old roommates from my undergrad year, we're still friends. I love her. She was in town because it was her aunt's birthday. So I went to that and I had a really, really good time. So those are like the only major social events that I've had. I also started working. I work in retail, which I am so grateful for this opportunity, because if you know, the job market can be a little rough. Okay. And I just moved to a whole new state with nothing. So what I did was I looked at things near where I was going to be moving and living, and I just sent applications in. So I actually got a response like the first week I moved in. I got a response, and like I had only been living here for 3-4 days. I think on the third or fourth day I actually had an interview. Got an interview, and like that next week and a half I started working. So I am extremely grateful. Okay. And honestly, I love my job. Like, it's cool. Everybody's very, very nice. Everybody's kind of young too, like around my age. A lot of students there. So I enjoy it. Hopefully I can stay long term. We'll just see in terms of like budgeting and financing if that will work for me long term. So that's like my other social life, is my job. Because it's retail, I interact with people like all the time, customers and my fellow employees. But so that's my other social thing that I get probably about 4 days out of the week. So yeah, but in the future, I definitely see myself growing and exploring socially, because I actually am more extroverted than I thought that I was. It took me some time, some years to realize like, oh, I actually like people. I actually enjoy meeting people and starting conversations and stuff. So yeah, we'll just see what the future holds. I do also plan on getting involved in things on campus. However, like when they did their welcome week, at least the first week, I literally just couldn't go because of the times of my classes, and they're so long. Or I'm at work when there's like the club and organization fair. Couldn't go to that. But I know the different things that I would like to get involved in. So it's just easier because I've done college before, so I know what to look for basically. Hopefully I can go to some events. I want to at least get involved in like the Black Student Union, find something that has to do with like graduate students or psychology, maybe something with music. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, now let's get into our next topic. Okay, so the next topic is basically just my reflections on living alone. So I'm 23 right now. I've never actually lived alone. Okay, I have 2 younger brothers. My brother was born, the first one was born when I was 3 years old. So I've always had other people in my living space. I've always had my own room, but you know, it's just different having your own room versus your own space. And then when I got to college, first 2 years, I lived in dorms, had a roommate. I did have my own like bedroom, but it was suite style. So I had my bedroom, my roommate had her bedroom, and we shared a common space and a bathroom. Then after that, last 2 years of college, I lived in like an apartment, and it was a 4x4. So I had 3 other roommates. So I've always had other people around. And the reason why I wanted to come here and not have a roommate is, one, when you have roommates or like people in your home, there's like a level of performance that kind of just naturally comes with it. And maybe that's just for me. I can really only speak for myself. And I did not want to do that. I wanted to just take my mask off, unmask, and just be me without any influence of anyone saying anything or doing anything, you know? And because I'm going into the field of counseling and understanding people, I really wanted to just have this space with myself, for myself. Because eventually I'm probably going to want to start a family, and if not now, then when? And this was a perfect opportunity for me to really just get vulnerable with myself. Like, I really want to, and I know that throughout this time, I'm going to really become extremely comfortable with myself, build up my self-esteem, work on self-love, and just being able to provide myself with the things that I need without relying on something external for myself. Because I feel like a lot of the times when problems or issues arise in like relationships, whether that's platonic or romantic, a lot of it has to do with the individual not getting what they need and not being able to provide themselves with the resources to give themselves what they need. And I was able to recognize some of those things in myself And I'm like, okay, I'm aware of this. Now that I'm aware, it is my responsibility to do something about it. And that's what I'm going to do. That is what I am doing. We have to speak what we want in the present. So that is what I am doing, okay? And honestly, it's pretty cool. And I get to just decide when I want to talk, how I want to talk, why I want to talk. Some days I really want to wake up and not speak a word. And I can do that because there's not anyone here but me, you know? And I love it. But sometimes I'm like, okay, it's really just me in here. It's quiet. And my house is not really set up completely yet. Like I have a couch, or I have a love seat, a desk, and a bed. But like, I really, really look forward to investing in making this a home for me. You know, adding my creative space. I want to have my yoga mats. I want to eventually give me some sound bowls. I just want to have different areas in my house that are for different energies. So I can really just be the person I always wanted to be, you know? Like I want to set these patterns or habits now before I get me a partner or whatever. So yeah. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much my living alone reflections right now. I will say I do miss when I would come downstairs and somebody else is cooking or just cooked or ordered food. Mom, I miss when you'd be like, hey, there's some food outside, go get it, bring it upstairs. I do miss those things. And living alone definitely gives me more appreciation for my family and my support system and all the people that I love, and just traditions that I didn't realize were traditions until I'm not actively there, living it and experiencing it. So yeah, so far so good, you guys. I'm really just enjoying this time and just taking everything day by day. Speaking positively to myself about my future and giving myself grace when needed, while also giving myself the push when needed. Oh, one more thing too. I've also been really, really consistent with my exercise. I realize how important it is for me really long term to stay physically active and mobile. So yeah, that's been going really, really good. Like I started running and I did not grow up playing sports. I was too shy, and in my head, I'm like, these people are looking at me, and that mindset really held me back from doing a lot of things in my childhood. So in order to honor my younger self, I'm doing those things now. So, because I love myself, and that younger me, she deserves it. I love her, and she served her purpose. Thank you, girl. I love you. And yeah, also, I do look forward to getting back into my creative musical bag. I have like a mini setup here, but I have something in my Amazon wish list that I really, really, really look forward to getting for myself. It's like a real setup with a mic stand, everything. I even saw one where it's like a little closed in tent thing that you can get and put your mic and everything in there. So I really look forward to that too. So stay tuned to whatever I decide to do with my music, but something will be done with it, because if you know, I've been sitting on, I have enough to put out an album really, but like I'm sitting on an EP of demos. They're not mixed or anything. So I'm just really trying to decide what I'm gonna do with the Imara Sinai, the creative side of me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do to support you doing. If you would like to support me further, I do have an Amazon wish list of things. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate it. I want to give y'all like some word of advice before I leave. My word of advice, which was my theme last month in August and also my theme during my gap year, was do it scared. Do it scared. You don't have to wait until you feel like, oh, this is how I should feel, or the timing isn't right. Do it scared, okay? Do it scared. You deserve it. You deserve to push yourself and to receive all the rewards and the benefits of doing something you've never done before. And sometimes it feels even better when you did it when you were scared or not fully prepared. And that's what I did. That's what I am actively doing, because I still get nervous. No, not nervous. That doesn't exist to me anymore. I removed that from my vocabulary, but I still feel some hesitation when I'm going out new places or trying new things or wanting to speak to people. But that's how you know you should do it, when you start to feel like, no. You say, I'm not going to get in my own way. And you do it scared. You just do it. So, yeah. Bye, you guys. Thank you for watching. Thumbnail.